What's up, guys? This is the Vinyl Casket, home to the latest taste. I'm Nick. Please do me a huge favor. Check out my Twitch at Vinyl Casket, where you can follow and subscribe, and my YouTube at The Vinyl Casket, where you can subscribe, like, and comment. Tons of stuff going on over there. This is another live movie review. We are finally getting into The Batman, the 2022 movie through DC. This is the latest entry in their superhero movies. I don't believe this is connected to the Justice League in any way, shape, or form. But we'll get right into this. This movie was released on March 4th, 2022. About a month ago from when I'm doing this. I know it took me a while to get it. Starring Mr. Twilight himself. Oh, where was that thing I was pulling up so I could read all my notes? Of course not. Oh, give me 1 second. Can you just pull that up? Alright, whatever. Easy enough. I can do this. So, movie came out March 4th. Honestly, based off trailers and stuff, I didn't know how I was going to feel going into this. Yeah, so Robert Pattinson, which I thought was interesting to see a man who's known for playing vampires play the Batman. You also got a lot of cool characters, but what was interesting here is that it wasn't an origin story. While this is the first in what we're going to assume is a series, a trilogy of movies, this Batman movie starts us at the beginning, if not in the middle, of year 2 of Bruce Wayne being Batman. And what that means basically is that year 1 in the comics and all other continuity is always assumed to be the year that Batman comes back from training abroad all over the world and dons the costume for the first time and basically just taking on mafia bosses and street crime, right? And in that first year, these supervillains or these people that would be later establish themselves as these supervillains start to establish themselves and start to get their way into Gotham, and then progressively they start to show up. What I've always hated about past movies, even the Christian Bale movies, is that you get your first movie, you get your origin story, you see the death of his parents, whatever, you see him become Batman, and in that movie, you have a supervillain. And I know, obviously, you can't have a movie without a supervillain. You could, but I don't think it would make as much of a success in the box office. But they do always start with early guys, like, Scarecrow, and work their way up, which I think is interesting. But what I liked here is that we get in and the monologuing happening. We get a little bit of a background. We get to see that Gotham's already in that state. We hear that it's year 2. He's got the bat symbol, the bat signal. He already formed that relationship with Jim Gordon, who is not a commissioner at the time. He is like a captain, which is really cool to see. I like the way they portrayed him. You see how he meets Catwoman and how that relationship builds, and they really diversify and build that character in a really interesting way. And they really set the groundwork. So you also establish Penguin as just you meet him as he's just Penguin. He's just a crime boss who's known whatever. He's a left hand man, whatever. But by the end of the movie, he's established himself in the public eye, in the light, as this bigger player in Gotham. And I thought that was really cool. So they really set the stages. And then the big bad here, besides the mob bosses, is the Riddler, which I thought was really interesting how he was kind of thrown in and the way they kind of set his piece of the puzzle up was very different, very unique. I didn't see that coming, the way they did it, how they had him wearing a mask and they did all these comparisons, how he knew Bruce was him. Those were things that kind of caught me off guard. I'm still not sure if I liked like the whole mask thing and how he was like, we were the mask, we are the mask, we are the same. When like all other most incarnations of Riddler just wears the weird bull hat and an eye mask, and that's it. So, and like a suit. So I thought it was kind of weird. I like the whole cult mentality. I like how they basically visually kind of did like a no man's land, road to no man's land, kind of setting it up. Boom, 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 flooding the city. I really liked that. I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was really a really smart decision. And cinematically and visually, this movie was awesome. One of my biggest gripes, though, with all Batman continuity, but this movie especially, is according to DC, forever now, they've been like very like, no, Gotham is in New Jersey. Gotham is not New York City. Gotham is New Jersey. New York City exists in the DC universe also as well. And they really established that recently in the comic books with the next Batman series, Second Son, his character moving from Gotham to New York City. So in this, we got Gotham Square or Gotham. Well, we have Madison Square Park, and we have Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden. They have Gotham Square Garden, Gotham Garden, Gotham Square. Like lots of references. They filmed a lot of this in like Times Square. So it's kind of annoying. It's clearly in an island of Manhattan on the overhead shots. So is it like this movie really made it clear that Gotham is the New York City of that universe? But they've been for years pitching that it's not, that New York City also exists, and that it's New Jersey, it's New Jersey, it's New Jersey. So I'm just curious, is it? What's going on? Like this movie was very conflicting to what DC's put out in the last 5 to 10 years on that front. But film wise, love the story, love the villains, love the characters, love the relationships. I loved Alfred. I loved that what is his name? His real name. He was only in the one opening scene. Lecougo. He plays Tim Drake, the third Robin, on the HBO Max Titans show. So that was really interesting to see a Joker gang. That's one of the earliest things we see is the Joker gang, or a Joker gang. Guys dressed as clowns, harassing people in the subway. And established at the end of the movie is that Joker is in Blackgate or Arkham or whatever, one of the ones that he's in. So Joker has been slightly established. I'm assuming not to the point because it's only year 2. Nothing big has gone on in Gotham. No big thing has happened. So I'm assuming this is just like a small, he was happened or he's put himself in there on purpose to gather a following. I'm not sure. Maybe they had a small encounter, but he's definitely done something to gather these guys as a clown gang. So Joker gang. But there's this one initiate with half his face painted, right? And that's Jay, who is already established as a Robin in another continuity, which is so cool to see. I don't know if they did that on purpose to make us think like down the road, is this going to be connected to the Titans? That would be sick if this is the same, universe as Titans. I would think that would be sick. But no, it was a really good movie. We'll do it out of 5. I'd give it a 4, a solid 4, mid 4. I think it was really good. I really like the characters. I really like the villain. I really like the story. I like what it's established, what it's set up. I like what it's leading to. Yeah, it was pretty freaking solid. I highly suggest go seeing it. It will be 7 days from today. It will be on HBO Max, so definitely watch it. Catch it in theaters if you can. And remember to check out my social medias and stay lame.